Registan Square is a real gem located in the heart of Samarkand and the undeniable centerpiece of nearly all Uzbekistan tours. Its grand architectural ensemble has earned it global fame and status as a monument of Oriental architecture. From three sides, the square is surrounded with grand madrasas, portals of which are facing the center of the space. All three erections have their own unique decor. It is by virtue of these buildings, preserved on the territory of the city, that Samarkand was included in the UNESCO World Heritage List in 2001. Visiting Registan Square is undoubtedly one of the top things to do in Samarkand, as it offers a breathtaking journey through centuries of history, architecture, and cultural heritage. In the evenings, the square is illuminated by a 3D light show that, during the tourist season, begins at 2100 hours. Translated from Uzbek, Registan means a sand place. In the ancient times, this central square was covered by sand. The territory was not initially surrounded by madrasa. Those great erections appeared rather later. In that period, authorities of the city were gathering people on the square to announce Khan's orders, held celebrations and public executions, and collected the army leaving to war. In the past, one could see many trade rows around the square, where artisans and farmers were selling their goods. All main roads of Samarkand led to Registan, where it was always noisy and lively. Various rulers during their reign would change the main significance of the square, but since those times and up to now, Registan has always been the center of the city's social life. There are three madrasas on the square, Ulubeg, Shurdur and Tilakori, that are the main sites of the city. They were erected by two rulers at different times. This is the Tilakori Madrasa. The construction began in 1646, in the northern part of the Registan Square, on the place of the caravanserais. The architect decided that the new madrasa should be another copy of already existing buildings, though would be located in the center. The construction of the Tilakori Madrasa lasted more than 14 years and finished in 1660. The name Tilakori was given thanks to its decor. Artists had used the painting method of kundal for decoration that contained mostly gilt. Among all three madrasa, this erection has a rich decoration of walls that leaves everyone impressed with the abundance of golden colors. Tilakori means gilded. There is a blue domed tower of the mosque to the left of the portal, with two minarets standing on both sides of the frontal part. The construction beautifully balances two bigger madrasa without disturbing the unity of the architectural style. The interior courtyard is lined with kudras, student cells, which open onto a spacious inner yard, reflecting the madrasa's original purpose as a place of learning and scholarship. The Tilakori Madrasa is not merely a historical monument. It is a living narrative of the city's illustrious past and a symbol of the crossroads of cultures that Samarkand has always been. It stands as a reminder of the city's place as a beacon of knowledge and faith on the ancient Silk Road. The appearance of Tilkori was dictated by the Bukhara architectural tradition, and therefore the proportions of Uzbek and Shurter madrasas were not repeated in it. This is the Ulu Beg Madrasa. The heir of the great state of the Timurids, a well-known mathematician and astronomer Ulu Beg, assumed the authority in 1409. In year 1417, he gave an order to build the madrasa that would later be renamed in his honor. It was the first erection on the Registan Square. The word madrasa stems from Arabic and literally means teaching and learning place. In 1420, the construction of madrasa ended. On the outside, the building, located on the western part of the square, was done in the form of a rectangle. Inside there is a square yard with entrances to the student cells, approximately for 100 people, and learning rooms. The facade of the madrasa looks out on the square, completed with 2 tall minarets in the corners. Special attention should be given to an exquisite interior of the building. Glazed bricks create beautiful ornaments on the yellowish laying of the walls. The madrasa portal is adorned with patterns of 10-pointed stars symbolizing the sky and astronomy. At that time, it was the largest scientific educational establishment in Samarkand. Here students were taught philosophy, astronomy, mathematics, theology. Along with the madrasa, caravanserais and kanka of Ulu Beg were constructed as well. 2 centuries later, they would build 2 other madrasa on the place of the vendors' shelter and kanka, and they would complete the architectural ensemble that we can all see today. This is the Shir-Dor Madrasa. In 1612, Yalangtish Bahadur was appointed the Emir of Samarkand. He was the Governor-General of the Bukhara Khans, and by that time, he was already ruling feudal principalities, was known as a skillful politician and an educated commander. Being a ruler of the city, he decided to construct another madrasa on the square of Registan opposite the building erected by Uzbek. According to the project of architects, the new madrasa was supposed to be located on the eastern side of the square and be a mirroring reflection of existing building on Registan. However, the exact mirroring concurrence did not work as the architect did not take one peculiarity into consideration. 200 years have passed since the construction of the Uzbek madrasa, and the building had shrunk into the ground and the level of the square itself had risen to 2 meters. In the result, the new madrasa turned out to be taller. However, it is rather difficult to notice this difference visually. Construction lasted until 1636. Emir Yalangtish Bahadur wished his creation not to give either in pomposity or space to the Uzbek madrasa. Despite the fact that the facade of the building was completely resembling the first madrasa, they had used new technology in construction, not common in the 14th century. Workers applied rather progressive techniques that speeded the process. Hazrat Khizr Mosque is one of Samarkand's most prominent religious landmarks. Archaeological findings reveal that in the 8th century, Samarkand's first mosque was built on this site. Situated on the historic Afrasiab hill, the mosque is named after Khizr, a legendary figure in Islamic tradition believed to appear to help people.
sağlığı semerlerinden. Ben şu manzileme kanunu mükemmel. Birinci prezidentimiz İslam'ın feni grupları yalan işleri gruplarının şahat, kabirlerin abba, çelik, iyisen, Rusi blasızların yerdilen kiriyan ziyaretçilerimizin hem ziyaretlerini kabul eyle, seferlerini beyhater kılıp hanadanların yekesli karların berekallah.
Constructed in the 8th century as Islam spread across Central Asia, Hazrat Khizr Mosque was destroyed during the Mongol invasion in the 13th century, with only parts of its foundation remaining. In 1854, large-scale restoration began, and by 1919, the mosque's minaret and entrance portal were completed. In 2016, Islam Karimov, the first president of Uzbekistan, was buried here, and a mausoleum was later added over his grave without altering the historical character of this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Hazrat Khizr Mosque is distinct for its vibrant facade and minarets, adorned with colorful tiles in yellow, green, and blue, rather than the blue majolika seen in many Uzbek mosques. Its spacious balcony with carved wooden columns is richly painted in orange, turquoise, and green. In the center of the historical city of Samarkand there is a grand architectural monument, the Cathedral Mosque of Emir Timur Bibi Khanum. It was erected in 1399 to 1404 by the order of the Timur and was the largest mosque in Central Asia. Translated as Senior Princess, the mosque was named after the beloved wife of the commander Bibi Khanum, known in history more as Sarai Mulk Khanum. The grand complex consists of the entrance portal, the main mosque, and two small ones. Up to 10,000 people can pray simultaneously in the courtyard of the building with an area of 5,000 square meters. The courtyard is surrounded by majestic minarets on four sides. The building is richly decorated with paintings, carved marble and tiles. It was constructed by the masters from the various countries of the world. Bibi Khanum, the daughter of Kazan Khan, a descendant of Genghis Khan, was originally named Sarai Mulk Khanum. Sarai Mulk Khanum was born in 1340 as the queen of the Kazan Khanate. In 1355, she married Emir Hussein, the governor of Samarkand. Emir Hussein was a close friend of Emir Timur, who ruled the region at that time. However, their relationship soured when Emir Hussein betrayed Emir Timur. This betrayal led to a war. According to the customs of that time, the victor would marry the wife of the defeated. In this situation, Emir Timur marries Bibi Hatun. Thus, Bibi Hanum becomes a legend whose name will never be forgotten for years to come. Emir Timur, by this marriage, becomes a son-in-law to the lineage of Genghis Khan, and is therefore known as Kurajin, meaning son-in-law of the Khan. This lady, also known as the Great Queen, had no children of her own and raised and educated Emir Timur's children and grandchildren herself. In particular, she was closely involved in the education of Ulu Beg, Timur's grandson, whom we know in the field of astronomy. Emir Timur always felt the need to consult Bibi Hatun on every matter. His admiration for her intelligence and beauty grew day by day, eventually transforming into a great love. Timur, to demonstrate his love for Bibi Hanum, had a mosque built in her name. With this decision, Timur introduced a new tradition to his dynasty. Not far from Bibi Khanum Mosque, there is one of the most mysterious and unique architectural monuments of Samarkand, Shaki Zinda Complex. This ensemble, often featured in Uzbekistan tours, consists of rows of refined, sparkling blue tombs. Steeped in legend and harmoniously combined in a lively and moving composition, various mausoleums are grouped along the narrow medieval streets. Shaki Zinda consists of 11 mausoleums, which were built one after another in 14th, 15th centuries. Visiting the Shaki Zinda complex is considered one of the most awe-inspiring things to do in Samarkand, especially for those seeking a deeper connection with the city's spiritual and architectural legacy. Shaki Zinda is the burial place of royal persons and nobles. But the main mausoleum from which the necropolis starts seems to be the imaginary grave of Prophet Muhammad's cousin, Qusum ibn Abbas. The complex was called Shaki Zinda, that means in Persian, the living king. He was one of those who preached Islam in that region. Later the complex became an important pilgrimage center that was revered by the people as sacred. In accordance with a legend, Qusum ibn Abbas came to preach in Samarkand in 640, spent there 13 years and was beheaded by the Zoroastrians during his prayer. The grave of Qusum ibn Abbas attracts to Samarkand many adherents of religious or spiritual tourism, because even in the Middle Ages, a pilgrimage to the grave of the living king was equated to Mecca Hajj. According to a legend, water source at the grave possess healing power.
Suivez le drapeau, d'abord on va se mettre dans les explications.
All mausoleums complex Shaki Zinda form a single composition. Each of them is a square building with a dome, the entrance to which is highlighted by a portico. Is rich in architectural decoration of buildings, which are used irrigation bricks, majolica tiles, carved mosaic.
دیدی میدونی چوکا؟
Salak Hüseyin.
Today, Shaki Zinda is a center of pilgrimage associated with the tomb of the Prophet Muhammad's cousin, Qusum ibn Abbas. The place is always crowded, especially on weekends, as many locals visit the site. If you want to take photographs, you should visit the complex in the morning. Generally, light conditions are the best. This is a family restaurant. I recommend it because it's very clean, the staff are attentive, and they have delicious local dishes. This isn't an advertisement, but I strongly suggest you go. Afrosiab is the fastest train in Uzbekistan with a speed of up to 210 kilometers per hour, allowing you to quickly and comfortably travel between Tashkent, Samarkand and Bukhara. All carriages are air-conditioned and non-smoking. They have comfortable seats, tables, and many other facilities. The train is suitable for passengers with disabilities. The Koja Gaukashan Ensemble is one of the largest architectural complexes in the center of Bukhara. Along with a number of other buildings in central Bukhara, it is included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. The name Gaukashan means killing bulls, as the site was previously home to an animal trading area and even earlier a slaughterhouse. The complex includes the Gaukashan Madrasa and a mosque with a tall and wide Koja Kalan minaret, equal in width to the Kalyan minaret, but shorter. The complex was built in 1570 during the reign of the Uzbek Khan Abdullah II and had a traditional courtyard layout. The trapezoidal shape of the building is explained by its location at a fork in the streets. Amazing and fabulous, ancient and exotic, undoubtedly, originally oriental and magical. This is the noble abode of the city of Bukhara. To feel all the antiquity of Bukhara and the magical atmosphere of the East, it is enough to plunge into the labyrinths of narrow streets and examine the ancient walls of houses, or at least, feel the sweet air of an ancient bazaar soaked with an oriental bouquet of aromas. Falling in love with Bukhara forever is not difficult at all. The fortress of the Ark, around which the city of Bukhara arose, has survived to this day, although it has been rebuilt many times over several centuries. It is located on a raised embankment, the height of which reaches 20 meters, and the area of the fortress is 4.2 hectares. Initially, the fortress was a closed polygon, and its steep slopes were completely lined with blocks. Before the arrival of the Arabs to the lands of Bukhara, the Ark fortress served as the seat of the Bukhara rulers. During the reign of the Karakhanid dynasty and during the invasion of Genghis Khan, the fortress was repeatedly destroyed. And only in the 16th century, under the rule of the Shaibanid dynasty, the Ark took its final form. The Poi Kalan Architectural Ensemble, located at the foot of the grandiose Kalan minaret on the main Registan Square in Bukhara, was included in the list of the 8 wonders of the SCO. The complex was built in the 12th to 16th centuries, and consists of 2 madrasas, Miri Arab and Amira Limkin, the Kalan minaret and the mosque of the same name. Its height is 46.5 meters. Kalan Mosque is the second largest mosque in Central Asia after Bibi Honim in Samarkand. An interesting fact is that a cathedral mosque with a minaret has already stood on this site since the Arab conquest in the 8th century. The complex takes its current state in the 16th century, when a new mosque and the Miri Arab madrasa are being built. The complex is arranged around a large open square. The Mir-i Arab Madrasa forms one side, and this facade faces that of the Congregational Mosque. A domed library forms the third side of the square. This is the hotel where I stayed. It's not an advertisement, but I was pleased with its comfort and its location on a very nice boulevard. Recommended.
Porque son de distintas, algunos son de guardia civil, policía, militares, ejércitos. Esos son de la ayuda urgente. Aquí para limpiar calles. No, broma. Pero tengo uniforme al final que no se parece. Uniforme sí se parece, pero...
Here I came across a special commemoration ceremony attended by police and soldiers. The place where I was standing is the tomb of Emir Timur, one of the greatest rulers in the world.